Welcome to spooky season, which is upon us. I suggest that nothing is as scary as the treacherous trenches of terror of the human mind and suffering. Nothing but war itself can cause the kind of terror of the suffering of our minds. So this is not just spooky season. We also experience sorrow and true terror in these times. So I offer to us this series. This is a series for the helpers who need to learn to be warriors. This is a series to help the helpers fight mental illness symptoms like the warriors you are. This is the art of war for helpers. Sun Tzu offered us the art of war somewhere between 500 to 250 BCE. Arguably, the most famous quote from this beautiful work is this: "To fight and conquer in all our battles is not supreme excellence. Supreme excellence consists in breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting." I would argue that helper warriors battle so fiercely the most important things in life without swords, without weapons, without bombs, but amidst the swords and weapons and bombs and sorrows of life. We fight with gentleness in the face of all of the terrors and violence of the world. We helper warriors, we must find a balance between mercy and severity. Our need for endless compassion for our clients cannot be transferred to pity or empathy for the barriers that create sorrow and distress and reduced functioning in life. We must show up with a strength and a resilience in our severity to always offer ourselves in the battle to join forces with clients in the deepest and darkest pits of despair. I do suggest in spooky season something you might even think at first is lighthearted, but I suggest to you it's the scariest and the deepest of the battles that we fight in this epic war of the mind. I suggest you watch the spooky movie, The Fundamentals of Caring. It's a Paul Rudd movie, so you can laugh, but I would suggest that those who are the most gentle souls are the ones that can go into the moments of horror in life, this horror in life, and they wrap their presence around another person, and they help save a heart in need. So don't forget the gravity of the battle. Don't think that because the result of our work can be joy and meaning, don't forget the gravity of your battle. Helpers are at war in this world against suffering. We are at war against distress, and we fight for the battle of meaning in this world that is also full of suffering. The price of life is pain and suffering. And those who can keep the balance of joy and meaning in this world and carry the heavy weight of all of those feelings and keep the vulnerability of the warrior to go out into the fray, I commend you. I send you so much love, and in that love, I ask you to be a warrior for these deepest and most important values of the human life. This is why we're here. And we need warriors like you. Brave helpers need that fierceness of war. And that's why I offer us the art of war for helpers. Sun Tzu gives us 13 principles. And I'd like to dig into this in this series. But we must start with the first principle. Sun Tzu gives us these 13, and we start with number 1, laying plans. You are in a war, And the first thing you must do in this very strange and unique war is you must do no harm. I ask you to look here on this channel at my episode 2, Do No Harm. The first thing we must do when we meet a client is go into those very private and dark places, and we must do safety planning. We cannot let our clients lose a war and a battle with themselves because we were not brave enough or strong enough or perhaps trained enough to go into safety planning, risk prevention, safety risk prevention, and to protect the very life itself that we have this beautiful honor of getting to meet. The first time you meet a client, you have to go there. You have to go into the dark trenches of risk, of the darkest things that people can do to themselves. And you have to know your client there. And you have to let them know that crisis prevention resources are important and they're a mandatory part of care. And even if they never need it, they're going to get those resources from you because they will not be left behind. They will not be left behind to harm themselves, and that you are a brave warrior for the mind and for the life of others. Along with laying plans, let's let Sun Tzu lead us through this war with success, because your excellence and your success, even if you fight without weapons, it's so important. And it is a battle, I can't say it enough. You are a helper at war. You are a helper warrior. As you start your initial meeting and you do safety plannings and you go there to the dark place with your client with a light and with resources, with phone numbers to call in the dark hours of the long night when you're not there, when you offer that candle of light as a warrior, your next move for your session is to go in with a plan, go in with a focus, do absolutely no harm, but do the good that you have the position to do. Be a warrior for the human mind. Be a warrior against distress. Be a warrior that adds meaning to life and reduces distress. Go into your first session with a focus. Ask yourself in this session, what is my objective? Why am I here? What do I see with my training that is of extreme distress in this moment, and what tools do I bring to offer to this session? What do I offer as a tool? What is my session objective? What is my focus? You are brave for showing up for other people. Please protect your golden heart and your compassion. Please find a balance between mercy and severity in your battle against illness. We don't attack a client, but we don't enable a symptom. We are brave. We are warriors. We're going in with a plan, and we are fighting the darkest darkness in a human mind. We are brave. We are going to go there, and we are going to use age-old, tested logic and strategy, just like we were at war, because we are. And this war is so important. So give in to the fun of spooky season, but don't forget what's real. Don't forget what war you're really in and what battle you really need to win. And check us out for episode 2 as we dig into the art of war for helpers. Therapist reacts to the art of war. Thank you so much.